Hello, Covenant family. I wanted to talk a little bit in a short video about the why of what's going on right now. We had a great staff meeting by Zoom on Monday, and Evelyn asked the question of, why is this happening, or what do you think about this as a pastor, John? And so I wanted to share a little bit about that with you. I'll tell you, I don't have a great or perfect answer for it. The short answer could be I don't know, would be sufficient probably. But I will share some more of my theological thoughts about the matter. One is that it's just central to my understanding of God, and it's a challenging idea, that God both is our creator and has the power to intervene in our lives and as at work, and Jesus is king of the universe. And yet, I believe that God has chosen to give us great freedom. I believe that has a lot to do with what true love is. I think about dystopian novels and the ways in which it might, in times like these, seem like it'd be really great if everything in life was predictable and kind of followed a very straight path. But I think we know from our own experience as humans that we don't want to be robots, and that there's a beautiful part of life and love that makes it up and down and a journey and a wild ride. And so I think that's part of how God has made us, is that we have freedom, and we have freedom to love, and that creates all kinds of things, including it creates bad decisions and sin, and it creates all kinds of things that we do to ourselves and among each other that affect our relationships and our whole universe. And I don't know, that none of that necessarily relates to anything of the science of why this happens, but to me, I think it's important to hold the two together, and there's no easy answer to it. I believe God is active and alive in the present, in the midst of all of this, and I also believe God didn't do it. But to some extent, I guess I have to say that God allowed it to happen, which might not sound too different than God doing it to some. And so I'm just trying to look for God in the midst of it. I'm being thankful for the opportunities that it has provided me, both of things I'm going to cherish more deeply, things that I can move away from that maybe I needed to fast from and wouldn't have without this. And many other ways in which God is at work in our lives in the midst of this time, growing us in God's love. So I hope some of that is interesting for you. I'd love it on a video like this if people wanted to comment a little bit and get some discussion going, because I think there's lots of great takes on these kind of topics. And it's important for us to be able to consider these things in community and ask these questions of where God is in confusing times and hard times, and look for God together, loving God with our whole heart and soul and our whole mind, maybe especially in this topic. Thank you, Covenant family.